Nothel Bloom is the name of a strange YouTube channel that uploads seemingly normal Minecraft videos. But if you dive deeper, you'll start to realize that this player's world is nothing short of extraordinary. The first video with the title, House, begins with the player creating a brand new world. They hesitate for a second, but then name the world Nothel Bloom Shader Survival Test, which seems like a normal name for maybe testing a beautiful looking shader, but this was not the case. Player joins the world and something is obviously very wrong here. The world is completely dark, and Minecraft worlds always start in the day. But I'll get back to that later, as the player begins chopping a tree and just playing normal survival. After getting enough wood for a sign, he starts communicating with us. These signs reveal that the reason why the world is so dark is because of the shader, which the player is clearly trying to show us as he points at the sky and starts punching. Next, he starts to pack up his stuff, and as they approach a cave, they start to mine. Now, we have learned that their name is Soup Liker, whom I'll just be calling Soup from now on. Anyways, Soup begins crafting and makes a furnace and some new tools, before he just kinda... Yeah, I really don't know. After doing whatever the heck that was, Soup goes to chop more trees, and eventually starts building a house. Once the house is completed, and repaired, Soup Liker then goes on a journey to find some sugarcane, which he finds, and then breaks to start his own sugarcane farm. And that's about it. After this, Soup Liker enters his home and logs out for the day, ending the first video. Okay, so what does any of this even mean? Despite the eerie tone of the video, nothing really happened. But I wish I could say the same for video 2. The second video is titled Diamond, and the description reads, 2 out of 3 of the videos I found depicting a shader survival test, with a shader named Nothel Bloom. I have found this shader online, but I am unable to replicate the strange effects it has on the world later in the video. And I guess to find out what weird effects this player has been experiencing, we have to analyze video 2. It opens with Soup Liker joining the world once again. Immediately, he lets us know about the progress he's made on his house, which includes a bunch more materials now having full iron gear, and an entire farm full of cows. Most importantly, however, Soup now has a clock in his inventory, which he can now use to tell the time properly. So far, nothing is really strange about this video, just a player showing us his progress. But the place where this video starts to take a weird turn is when Soup Liker decides he needs diamonds. So, he unsits his dog and starts making his way into the cave. Finally, he reaches the end of his tunnel. And I'm gonna let the rest play from here. What was that noise? After some digging, I found no sound in Minecraft's files that sound even close to what we just heard, so what was it? Whatever it was clearly has Soup and his dog freaked out, so as anyone else would do, he decides to go back home. Once he's back, he decides to randomly start wandering into the woods, but he's probably just getting some fresh air or something. On his walk, Soup passes many mobs. This is either a coincidence or maybe he just likes going out at night. This might be because it's easier to see, something I'll bring up later. Because something is worrying me, and no, it's not the overwhelming amount of mobs. If you take a second to look at this clock over the span of the video, you'd know daylight is approaching. And if you remember back to when he explained how this shader actually works with the light levels of the game being switched, you would understand my concern. And I think Soup understands as well. If he didn't find his way home soon, he'd be consumed by darkness. Finally, after many minutes of watching him wander, he finally gave us a sign. Literally. Although we knew it already, he's very much lost. Lost in his own infinite world. After searching for an entire Minecraft day, Soup can finally reunite with his house. And I wish that I could say that his troubles were over, but he starts acting super weird, completely out of nowhere, without saying a single thing on a sign, like he usually does. He just decides to go mining. He finds a large part of a cave system and decides to explore it, seemingly not even worried about what he heard last time. And this cave, for the most part, is pretty empty, but his bravery has seemingly rewarded him as he finds a singular diamond, and of course, mines it. After being attacked by a skeleton, he's forced to run away, but you'll find later this decision was by far his worst. After making sure his dog was okay, he continues forward. What the hell is that? Whatever it is, he has to make sure him and his dog are safe. This entity, whatever it might be, is not a normal Minecraft mob, but he knows he has to act soon, or it might spot him. Before he even gets time to think, Soup's dog begins to attack the entity. Wanting to keep his dog safe, he starts attacking the creature. Absolutely stunned by what just happened and the tragic loss of his dog, he begins to investigate what's really happening in this world. The first hint we get is this item the mob drops, the restore shard. Although we have no idea what its use could possibly be, that can wait. Because he begins to stare, taken back at what appears to be some sort of corrupted block. Not knowing if it's safe or not, Soup hesitates and inspects the eerie corruption in front of him. He chooses to leave, but right before that, he decides to try one thing. So that video ended and I have more questions than answers. What was that skeleton? And what is this mysterious block? And what does literally any of this mean? Video 3 opens with our protagonist using cobblestone to bridge over the corruption block. And that's what I'm going to be calling it, as if you caught it last video, this block can spread. But this room he is in, it's completely covered in corruption. Seemingly as if overnight, his world was being infected. He starts to pick up the pace as the daunting thoughts of everything he's ever built, everything he's ever seen in this world being gone, it terrifies him. After panicking to find his way back, he stumbles across the way he came. But there was a big problem. Earlier, whilst mining for blocks, Soup's pickaxe broke, leaving him with no way to now escape. He now realizes that the only way out was to plunge deeper inside the pit. Surprisingly, this seems to be the end. This was the last video, and even the official documentation completely stops. And although we learned some important information from this document and the last 3 videos, I can't help but feel like this isn't over, and that Soupliker wanted to find out what was truly going on. No, I'm sure of it. He would never give up that easily. Not after it took his dog. Not after it corrupted his world. So, I kept looking, and lo and behold, I found the last missing piece. In the last video, towards the end, you could turn on captions to get to the end of a YouTube link, which takes you to the last video in the story of Nothel Bloom.
11 years of bad luck out the parlor room mirror. Could I have made it any clearer? Hey, it's love like a tongue in a nostril. Love like an ache in the jaw. You're the first day of spring with a septum piercing little miss sweet dreams. Tennessee.